All right, everyone. Welcome to the Peak Politics Podcast, episode 16. It's the end of the fucking world, and we're here to enjoy it in all of its splendor.
Yeah, totally.
The election was Tuesday and Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday.
And also today.
It also, well, no, I think they're done. Pennsylvania's
today.
I think Pennsylvania was required to be done
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah. So it's
regardless,
they just
it's
called it.
fucked as all can be.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, it's really, really, really fucking weird.
Yeah, extremely weird.
Well, it's even weirder when Georgia was at 99% for God knows how long.
Yeah, for like 2.5, 3 days.
And it spent all that time just slowly collecting more votes for Biden. It's like, at some point you're going to be at 100%, but no, apparently not.
Apparently not.
Not until Joe Biden's winning.
Yeah, and it's still at 99%. Still at 99%.
We've literally had a shift, I think, of about 12,000 votes that I can remember. All it was in that 99% category.
Yeah, dude, it's insane.
Actually, it's more than 99% technically.
Yeah, it's like 107% voter turnout, right?
Yeah, this is all just bullshit. They won't call here's why they won't call North Carolina, because Trump has roughly 100. No, it's like 80,000. He's like an 80,000 vote lead, and it's a 95% or a little higher than 95%. The reason they won't call it for him is because the same reason they wouldn't call Georgia for him. It's because they knew that if they wait long enough fraud will occur that Joe Biden can win.
Yep. 100%.
So they're just waiting for Joe Biden to take the lead in some of these states. And I would not be surprised if North Carolina get even closer, which it shouldn't. And Georgia shouldn't have either. He was up like how many hundreds of thousands of votes at one point in Georgia? Like even just like 2 days ago, he was up by a significant, like 80,000, something like that. He was up by a ridiculous margin. Everyone's like, okay, he's won that. We can call that one. But nope, they didn't. They just waited until all the votes came in.
Yep. And then they call Arizona when there's 80% reporting. Or less.
Less. In the case of Fox News, they called it within 2-3 hours after the polls closed.
Yeah, something like that.
It was like 2 or 3 hours after I was watching. They called it. It was stupid.
Yeah.
Everything's stupid.
But apparently there's some military ballots in Georgia.
Military ballots in Georgia, yeah. We're waiting for it. It's we're waiting on that. But I mean, I have zero faith in the legitimacy of this election. I don't know about you guys at home, but the thing is, I could have handled a loss. I could have handled a loss if it looked legit.
Yeah, but straight up doesn't. It's just
Trump's winning the state. They tell all the poll watchers to go home, and they say they're going to stop counting. And then at 4 a.m., Joe Biden takes the lead in that state. It's well,
yep.
We weren't even supposed to be counting at that point. What the hell?
Yeah.
So I don't. No. Nope. Not convinced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thoroughly unconvinced by this.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Kind of insulting, honestly.
Yes, it is.
I understand that. I think we're stupid, but they can't think we're that stupid.
No.
In Michigan, holy crap, the Michigan stuff going on is ridiculous. They have there's this story. I probably should tell you, we're recording this 11:35.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we kind of rushed to the intro, but anyway,
kind of.
Little shit show, put it that way. But yeah, so the thing with the election that's odd about stuff in Michigan is that we had a story out of Michigan. I was reading yesterday saying that about 6,000 votes in a county had been switched from Trump to Biden. So it's not just that Biden lost 6,000 votes, that Trump gained 6,000 votes.
Yeah.
I mean, total shift. That's a 12,000 vote shift, technically. And just crazy. Shit like that.
Yeah,
here's the funny thing about that, is that was caused by a software glitch. And there are 47 other counties using that software. Michigan. If you get an average of 6,000 votes that way, it's going to swing 200-something thousand votes towards Trump. Remember, at the same time that it swings votes towards Trump, if this glitch is they find in all the other counties, it's going to be taking them from Biden. So you really don't need that many.
Yeah.
You need 60,000 votes? 60, 70,000 votes to go that way?
Yeah.
From Biden to Trump for that to be. Have to basically make it a dead tie.
Yep.
So even if 10 of these other counties have similar results of the 47, seriously close election. If 12 of them, 13 or 14 of them have the exact same results as that county, Trump, you got to win. if all 47 of them have shit like that going down, he fucking blows Biden
Out of the water. Yeah.
out of the water.
Yep.
Or basement, as you prefer.
Yeah, you're right, yeah. Out of the basement, yeah.
No, I just love that we're supposed to believe a guy who literally didn't campaign basically ever. I mean, when he did, he got 6 people to show up. I love how we're supposed to believe that that's the guy that won this by like overwhelming record-breaking numbers. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
And then all of his colleagues in the Senate and then the House lost a whole bunch of seats, or we didn't lose the Senate. So
That's the other thing is it was ridiculously good for the Republicans in the Senate and the House. They just
yeah,
destroyed.
yeah,
In the Senate, I think they performed the way they would expect it, but in the House, they obliterated.
right, yeah,
Like, well, if they expected Democrats to expand their majority, they lost 8 seats.
yeah.
So why exactly is that occurring? Trump is not winning. Like, why exactly the Republicans winning when Trump is not?
Yeah.
Why exactly there are like thousands and thousands of ballots coming in for Biden and Biden alone, like none of the other races?
Yeah, exactly. And another thing about that
Hell, man,
is
what is this shit?
because they're saying that the voter turnout is because so many people hate Trump, but if that's the case, why wouldn't they vote down ballot? If they
Why wouldn't they make sure that if Trump won, he couldn't do anything?
Right, yeah, exactly.
Like, why wouldn't you? If you hate Trump so bad, why not try and cripple the whole party to make it?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense.
Trump is the Republican Party. He's got 95% M party approval.
Yes.
So you hate Trump, and this is the point Trump makes himself. If you hate Trump, you really hate his voters.
Yeah, exactly.
But why not screw them over? Why not even try? Why not even try?
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man.
This idea that a ton of Republicans that couldn't, wanted to give Joe Biden the presidency would not control the whole government. Like, that makes literally no sense because Trump has like 95, 96% approval rating in the party.
Yeah.
There's not a whole bunch of Republicans that hate Trump. There's just not.
There's not. And then the ones that
A bunch
say
of
they are,
establishment crony fucktards.
yeah, exactly. They're like the Lincoln Project, which are just grifters, and never, people like Romney who really aren't actually
Like,
Republicans.
here's another thing with the Lincoln Project. I think we've talked about it before, but basically, all accusation is projection, right?
Yes.
So I don't know if you know this, but that guy that was the head of Liberty University, evangelical Christian guy, I can't remember his name now, real famous dude, very wealthy. But his wife cheated on him, and the guy that she cheated with threatened to blackmail him. And then he took his story to Lincoln Project. The Lincoln Project said that not only did she cheat, but this guy was a cuck. He was watching. This guy's been this particular evangelical guy has been really, really pro-Trump. They think he's to blame for like so many evangelicals, and it's like, which is not true. I mean, like, he didn't rubber seal Trump for the whole like freaking community. I mean, people were going to vote for him regardless, but they don't like Lincoln Project. I can't remember his name now. But Robert Barnes was talking about that, and he's like, "No, I'm not saying the Lincoln Project guys like to do that, but remember, all accusation is projection." So I'm not saying for any any way that could be legally defined as any sort of defamation or libel, but they're a bunch of cucks.
Oh yeah, they definitely are.
We must vote for Biden to save conservatism. Like, you sound like a proper political cuck right there.
Yeah, exactly.
You're the sort of guy.
Vote against we
have some other dude save our wife to save our marriage.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's the sort of shit you're dealing with.
You have to vote a Democrat down ballot to protect conservatism. Yeah, no.
You must vote for communism and the destruction of the entire American way of life so you can conserve the Constitution.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Could you please shut the fuck up? Like, no one's buying it.
Yeah, no. Not at all.
And to all of like the 3 people that did, they weren't very bright to begin with.
Exactly, yeah. For sure.
It is a pretty serious grift though, and I kind of wonder, like, I think they're using their we were Republicans and we're like Trump's bad to like try and like swing votes away from Trump, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't think these people are conservative at all. I think they're just
not.
using it as straight up propaganda. I mean, it just
exactly.
seems like they're crony, corporatist, sort of establishment style, corrupt politicians hell bent on seeing further. Honestly, if they switched from, if they were from the Republican Party initially, I'm willing to bet they'd probably want lower taxes on the wealthy but higher taxes on the poor.
Yeah.
Which is, there's some Republicans that definitely are assholes like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But the principal position on lower taxes is lower taxes for everyone, which is what a lot of Republicans say.
Yep.
Not only that, I'm also willing to bet that these are the people that would be super emphatic about things like the Iraq War and the invasion of Libya. These are the warmongers.
Yep.
I mean, these are the people that hate Trump. I think actually do think they hate Trump on principle.
Yeah,
The
for
Lincoln
sure.
Project, I think they actually hate him on principle because he's anti-war, because he is
Anti-establishment.
yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, I'm trying to like label the things that make him that way. He's
Right, right,
anti-war,
right.
not super into expanding government control. I wouldn't say he's been as anti-establishment as he could have been, but he's definitely made strides. He's unbuyable. You can't buy Trump. People don't. I don't even really try. It looks like. I mean, I don't like the fact that he's not a corrupt politician, basically. And that I think specifically the war stuff probably pisses them off the most because I'm willing to bet a lot of those people have a connection to companies that make a lot of money off war.
Yeah.
So, kind of like, I mean, I know that's somewhat conspiratorial, like on the left. Oh, Halliburton's funding this war, or like at the very least inspiring it. But it's true to an extent. The same thing with the unions. I mean, when you see that Democrats don't like school choice and they want to increase teacher salaries, do you think it's out of the goodness of their heart? Do you think it's a principled position to take? No, that's straight union talking points. They're getting
Yep.
paid to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
So, 51% of Congress is millionaires. Most of them did not enter that office that way.
Right, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Do the math. It's just corrupt.
Yep. Yep. All right.
But yeah, Lincoln Project is fucking trash.
Yeah, they are. All right. So
Let other dudes fuck their
sort
wives.
of got
Yeah.
off topic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
I'm just putting that one out there.
but
Trump doesn't do that.
no, he doesn't.
Trump fucks other dudes' wives.
Yep.
Trump is the Chad, like is the Chad like Republican president we deserve.
Yes, precisely. So trying to think here.
Did you see when he was sick, they made him stop eating McDonald's? That was so fun when he had COVID.
Yeah.
You have to eat healthier.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but our president loves McDonald's. Like I don't know what else I can say. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so American. He's
It
so
is.
like in even the worst possible of ways, he is thoroughly American. Like I don't know
He
how else
is.
you construe this. Like if you want an American president, you got one. Bitch
Yep.
loves McDonald's.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm loving it.
But
Remember when he had a bunch of football players over and he fed them McDonald's?
yes.
Like fuck yeah, that's what they want. They're sick of healthy eating. They want McDonald's.
Yeah.
I want McDonald's. Like right the fuck now.
Hmm.
Fuck yeah, man.
So
It's just something.
sort of getting actually to our.
What other fast food does he like? Though? Like I know for a fact McDonald's. But what else is he? What else can we confirm that Trump eats?
Oh, he drinks Diet Coke. We know that.
That's like the best tweet. I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke. Is that a meme or is that real? Like the meme's been around for a
Mm,
while, but is that actually a real tweet? Because God, I hope it is.
I hope so.
I love all like those like things he'll do. Is like like Thomas Jefferson like puts up a really nice quote. Like Quincy Adams puts up a really nice quote, and then Trump. I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke.
Hmm.
Oh God, what a wordsmith!
Yep.
I fucking love Trump, dude.
Yeah, no,
God,
he's great.
I don't know about you, Wyatt, because these numbers look, in my opinion, not totally. Again, like if he lost by a thin margin and there didn't seem to be any evidence of voter fraud, I could have accepted it because
Yeah, 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 exactly.
I'm not shocked that this many people in our country are fucking retarded. I interact with people on a daily basis who have literally no idea anything about politics and say they hate Trump. They have zero understanding of the policies in place, of the laws. Nothing.
Right.
They couldn't name one Trump policy. They just know they hate him.
Yep.
And people in my life personally like that. I have my stepfather who's just a lot of personal animus for the guy
Yep.
because he's declared bankruptcy on a couple of his companies. Like, no, I kind of feel like that's a legal system problem.
Yeah.
Even if you don't, I'm not even told that your bankruptcy laws are necessarily a bad thing. I have to do more research on that before I have a really strong position on it.
Mm.
But it's an option. It's a legally viable way to do business.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Hmm.
there's no illegal illicit activity, but a lot of people that hate him just for that.
Yep.
Really stupid shit. They're like, oh, Trump's a crook, Trump's evil, Trump's like the devil. I've literally had people call him the Antichrist. I know people that call him
Bro,
the
that's
Antichrist.
insane. I cannot believe that shit. It's ridiculous.
Well, here's the deal. Like he's like, oh, you worship Trump, you put him on a pedestal, and
Right,
he's
yeah,
he's the Antichrist. I'm like, I kind of feel like you're the only one putting him in a religious position here.
right, yeah, exactly.
I feel like I don't ascribe any religious divinity of any sort, fake or
No,
otherwise, to this
no,
guy.
I just think he's a good president. That's all.
I
Yeah,
kind of feel like he eats McDonald's and blows up terrorists, and I'm cool with that.
yeah, same here, man. Same here. Um,
We had a rocket named the Big Mac.
yeah. So the AP, Associated Press, has called the race for Biden because they called Pennsylvania and said that they said that Biden won it. They called Arizona and Nevada. So they're saying that he has 290, um, and that and then he's apparently leading in Georgia too. So it might.
How can we butt fuck the Democrats in the congressional races, but he managed 290? Like, like okay, sure.
Yeah, dude, it's just so unbelievable, man. Like if hatred for Trump is so, you know, is so common, right? Why didn't these people vote down ballot? It's because it's
Even
just
better
so
question. Like,
pathetic.
here's another thing. Like, if you have the people like on the congressional caucus call and in that Democratic caucus going, I knew they lost my blue district because of socialism.
Yep.
How the fuck did Biden win? Because he is a straight up socialist. Look at his plans.
Yep. They
He
are.
totally adopted the Bernie Sanders plan for basically everything.
Yeah. Almost everything.
It says there's a public option, but I don't believe that. I don't believe there will be. I think it's a lie. It's a ruse.
I think so too. That's gonna be a lie, just like you can keep your doctor if you like your doctor.
Yeah, yeah. You can if you like your health care, you can keep your health care. It's like oof.
Yep.
You must rethink what you're saying. Biden. You've been that way before. You've been down that route before.
Yeah, exactly. And
You like your employer provided insurance, you can keep your employer provided insurance. Like, yeah, until your government subsidized bitch ass version of insurance like outcompetes. It doesn't even outcompete because it's not really competition.
yeah, it's not.
It has infinite supply of money. That the government option literally can't fail.
No, it can't.
Once you artificially drive every other fucking business, every other option out of business, and you get your socialized healthcare, like fuck you, man.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude.
But yeah,
Here's my problem, right? Like, they all want to go for the insurance. We have to have insurance, health insurance. No, you need to drive down the price of healthcare.
right, yeah.
But insurance isn't so fucking expensive.
Exactly, yeah.
How do you do that? You get the government the fuck out of healthcare. Cut down on regulations. But if you're gonna have the government involved in healthcare, here's the only way to look at it is like consumer protection stuff. You need to make sure that the hospitals, that the pharmaceutical companies are being transparent with their pricing and with things like that. You know,
Yeah.
you need to be transparent with what you're paying for. You can't go into a hospital, ask for a bill, and find out you paid $5 for a cotton swab. $5 for like a Q-tip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not good. Because I remember a couple stories like that. People would be like they're posting on various websites, or Facebook posts on it, like, oh, I asked for my hospital bill. I went from like 18,000 down to like 9 just for asking for the receipt.
Yeah.
Because they knew they couldn't scam me that way. Like, oh, that is such a scam. But legally speaking, they don't have to be transparent with you. Which I don't fucking understand. Like, legally speaking, you're not allowed to know what you're buying. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Or at least they're not required to tell you what you're buying.
Right.
Like, that seems retarded. Seems slightly retarded. I don't know about you, Wyatt, but that seems to be the issue with healthcare. Not that you don't have free insurance, but that it's not a free market.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah,
It's free markets. If you talk about free market in the capitalist sense, that requires a couple things. One, there actually your human rights being observed, labor laws and things like that. There's actual respect for human rights.
Yeah.
And that is to say the legal system isn't being used to abuse you. Like you're not being forced to sign contracts to work with places that basically sign your soul away.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the things that really I would say requires is transparency. Companies need to tell you, like for example, what ingredients are in their products, so that way you know you're not being poisoned.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
They need to tell you what the price of said product is and why. I guess technically they don't have to tell you that with certain things, but if you were to go to a hospital and they're providing you a product, you should be able to ask them, okay, was there a lower cost alternative? really basic shit. Really basic crap.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't like the whole. Well, if the government took care of everything, it would all of a sudden be better. No, the fuck it wouldn't. No, it just wouldn't be better. That wouldn't solve a damn thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, there's some really basic shit, and I guess we can get healthcare is one of those things where like I'd probably have to do more research to have a really informed opinion about like what reforms would be proper. I can tell you that universal healthcare doesn't work, and this government provided healthcare is not going to be a good system.
Yep.
Um, and my only point on that would be a lot of people know that, and if socialism is causing you to lose in your district, why the fuck is Biden winning the presidency?
Yeah.
If socialism was causing you to damn, there was that one lady in the house called crying because she had lost her district over shit like that.
Yep.
It's like, well, first of all, if you lose a political race and you're crying, it's like, okay, that job meant more to you than just a job. You're getting something from that job that you shouldn't be getting.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think if you're that emotionally attached to what is ultimately just a job, no, that's not right.
Yep.
But regardless, lost her race. Same thing, and the defund the police stuff too.
Yep.
And this is why I think that there may be a good explanation for why Biden is winning. These guys aren't. Is that the media ran coverage for that sort of stuff? Oh, he doesn't want to defund the police. Oh no, it's not
Right. Yeah.
socialized medicine.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, like just shit like that, where they ran cover for him, right? And
Yeah.
if that's the case, that people actually thought that these senators and these Congress people were pushing for stuff like that, but that Biden wasn't,
Hmm.
then you're uninformed. Like there's a lot of uninformed voters. I mean, that was the other thing is like people that vote for him are one of two things: uninformed or malicious.
Right. Yeah.
They're the AOCs. The let's make a Trump of like a list of Trump voters so we can like never let them into public life
Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk about that
You're either
eventually.
malicious or you're misinformed. You
Yeah.
have two options.
Yeah.
People with all the information are not making the choice for Biden.
No, they're not.
Yeah, the decision desk is calling it for Biden too.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, with like 279. Just called Nevada for him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I see it now. Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yep. Yeah. So, sort of back to what I was saying. So, the reason why I don't believe this is because if the hatred for
Oh,
Trump
what the
is
fuck?
the hatred for Trump is just so bad, or so is, or if the hatred for Trump is so massive, then why aren't the Republicans losing losing seats in the House and losing seats in the Senate? Because they're not.
That's the other thing. Like, you don't just hate Trump. You hate his agenda. You hate everyone that enables him. You hate Mitch
Exactly. Yeah.
McConnell. You hate Lindsey Graham. You hate Ted Cruz.
Yep.
You hate Susan Collins. I mean, like, you would have a really good opportunity if there's this much support for Biden to turn that towards the Senate and congressional races.
Right. Yeah.
But
Exactly. But
there's a shitload of votes coming in for Biden and Biden alone. It's like, that's
yeah.
weird as hell.
Yeah.
How
Not
come
only. Yeah, and not only just for someone on the left, straight up just for him, no down ballot, and then also how is it that there are hundreds of thousands of votes that are coming in that none of them are going for Trump or even Joe, or Joe Jurgensen or whatever the hell her name is. Like that doesn't make any sense. That's almost
Jared
statistically
Jurgensen.
impossible. What's up?
Jared Jurgensen.
Yeah, yeah. I actually lied on my dude,
You see
dude.
in Nevada that none of these candidates is an option.
Wait,
They
what's
got
that?
like 12,000 votes. In
No.
Nevada, like none of these candidates is an option, and it got 12,000 votes.
Oh my gosh.
Assholes. But this is what I want to say earlier. Is like they have like 95% reporting from Nevada, and they're calling it for Biden, even though there's only a 30,000 point,
Yeah.
like 30,000 no difference.
Yep.
You have over here in Georgia with 99% reporting Trump up like by like what 12,000 votes at the time. They wouldn't call for him.
Oh, I think it was up like 80. I think it was up like 80 at one point, and it was at 99%.
It was up some stupid amount, like and it was up at 99%. But I mean, like everything's gay.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking ridiculous. And then and like the biggest thing that's just so sus to me. I'm sorry for everyone, but to use that, but like
Suspect.
yeah, yeah, suspicious. Is like every single time Joe Biden gained a massive amount of votes in these swing states, in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania,
Yeah, at the same time, Trump will get like,
Georgia. Yeah, he, it was in the dead of night. It was like 4 a.m. for like almost all of these within
yeah, when
between
they
like 4 and 5
specifically said
a.m.
we're closing the polls and we're going to go back, we're going to go home until
We're
nine,
gonna stop counting. Yeah,
until 9 o'clock in the morning. And then they continue counting. Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
yeah. And then a similar thing happened with Pennsylvania. Like in the early morning, he freaking magically started getting a shit ton
What?
of votes. And the same thing with Georgia. Like, dude, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. But this thing, even though it's been called for Biden, it's far from over. Because Trump, he's gonna have a
Oh, the
lot more.
litigation is going to be ridiculous, man.
Yeah, yeah, dude. The litigation, it's gonna be a lot. And
Pennsylvania is going to be a shit show because we know they cheat.
yep.
They keep getting people convicted of it. Like a couple of years ago, they had, like what, that judge convicted of it. I mean, but, have you ever noticed that South Dakota actually looks like an SD card?
Hold on. Let me look. Holy shit, it does.
It has little tabs off to the side and everything. You see that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's actually
Okay, this is South Dakota is a giant like
SD card.
it's a big tech conspiracy.
It is.
It's not real.
Hey, hold on, Andrew. Andrew, hold on. I think I know what it is. So, what it is it's a.
Alex's voice sucks ass.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Look, look, look,
Listen
look.
here, listen here. What's talking about over here? South Dakota. Pretty straightforward, okay? That's where they make all the chemicals for the Silicon Valley elites. Turn the freaking frogs gay.
Oh,
Okay,
and
South
then, and
Dakota
then,
is a conspiracy.
hold on, and then also,
Bohemian Grove kind of gay.
and then also another thing about South Dakota, they are part of they are descendants of the lobster gods.
I didn't follow that one, but sure, okay.
Remember our inside joke about the lobster gods?
Well, I understand that we worship like crustaceans in private, but that's not my. I don't understand where that went. I don't know how South
I
Dakota's.
don't know. I just wanted to reference that.
Maybe like lobster robot. Maybe he has SD cards,
There you go. Yeah, good way to link
or
it.
I don't know what you need SD
I
cards
don't know
for that.
why. I don't know why. I just wanted to bring up the lobster thing.
Why not just put like a Kingston like SSD and like a or SSD, whatever.
Yeah, everything's a lobster construct. Anyways, um, so what were we saying before we got off track about freaking South Dakota being an SD card? Wait, hold on. South Dakota, SD.
Yes, that was my point.
Okay. I
It literally says SD on it, and it
yeah,
looks like an SD card.
yeah,
That was my.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
my.
I get it now.
You bastard.
Look, I'm stupid, okay? Plus, I'm tired. I haven't had my tea yet this morning, so
You drink tea?
yeah, of course I drink tea. I drink sweet tea in the morning.
Okay, that's marginally acceptable.
Yeah.
You are fucking redcoat for a
So
second.
what were we talking about before we got off topic on the freaking SD card?
Gay frogs, I think.
No, before that.
Yeah, gay frogs.
Oh my god. Before the gay frogs, Andrew. I almost called you Alex.
There's nothing before the gay frogs. The gay frogs was the beginning of time.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Big Bang was actually gay frogs.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm trying to think. So yeah, basically, I just don't trust this, man. It's just so shady. And then
It's remarkably shady. And here's what I find really interesting is that Wisconsin, Michigan, Arizona, three states that were supposed to go narrowly or reasonably towards Trump, in the dead of night, Biden.
yeah,
How the fuck are you going to lose Michigan?
yeah,
They've been locked in their homes by an authoritarian cunt for like 6 months now. Like, they understand the
yeah,
deal.
yeah,
How the fuck you going to lose Michigan?
yeah.
How?
It just doesn't
How?
add up, man.
That was the. If you had told me, okay, like, if you had told me like that Pennsylvania went blue, I would still say, okay, well, Michigan went red, right? There's just no world in which I imagine Michigan would be lost.
Yeah, no.
Like, I get it, they're reasonably blue. I'm not saying they're not, but they went for them last time. And there's literally no reason they wouldn't now.
Yeah, exactly. And then you look at
There's just
the the news that Crowder broke, right? The exclusive that they got about people freaking breaking in
toting
ballots.
ballots in the dead of night.
Yeah, inside of freaking
Cases, coolers.
coolers, suitcases, and freaking wagons. Like, what the hell? and then they freaking boarded up the damn windows in the counting room.
That was the other thing. As soon as we started calling them out on this shit, they started boarding up the windows when
Yep.
they're in the counting areas. It's like
Yeah.
you legally can't do that. You can't obstruct the view of that.
No, you can't.
Then also stuff with like you gotta stand 100 feet away to watch the count ballots. Like what?
Yeah, no, that's bullshit.
What?
You have to be able to see to make sure that they're like that they're not.
Here's the other thing: is like if you're gonna say that, like okay, but like why? Like why do we have to worry about this so much? Well,
Yep.
okay, I'll present you 3 or 4 different videos just from yesterday where you can see them crumpling up ballots or filling in ballots themselves. Like,
Yep.
okay, if you're trying to count ballots, why you got a pen in your hand and marking all over one?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
What the fuck is that about? You can see them like you saw that one video that guy literally flip off a ballot and throw it in the trash.
Yep.
Who do you think that was for? You think that was for Biden?
Probably not. I'm gonna
Yeah,
assume
exactly.
no.
I'm gonna go on a limb here and say the only people absolutely batshit crazy, dishonest enough to do that would have to be a Biden.
Yeah. I mean, because the
Remember
thing
that,
is,
remember that picture from Philadelphia? It's like the ballot counters and they're both wearing like COVID, like they're both wearing masks and
yep.
say Biden 2020 on. It's like, you're the fucking counters. Where's it? Where are the people watching you? What the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
No, big fat fucking bullshit.
Yeah, man.
I just don't.
It's just. I just
And
don't
then
believe it.
Joshy Washy,
Oh yeah, Joshy Wash.
icing on the cake. This absolute dipstick
Bro,
is
this
fucking
piece
whore.
of shit.
It's like I don't know. I don't have any other really.
Insults.
I mean, I have some, but I mean, good God, they cross a line I don't think I'd ever come back from.
Yeah. Okay.
Kike faggot.
Oh man. Oof. Okay, chill.
Fuck this guy.
Chill, chill.
It's really unfortunate he shares his name with Ben Shapiro, who I like a lot.
Yeah.
His last name,
Unfortunate.
Josh Shapiro, is the AG Pennsylvania. He's been awful for a long time, but this has been particularly bad. Where he says when all the ballots are counted, Joe Biden will have won.
Yeah.
Do you know that?
Because this was like
How the
what,
fuck do
two
you
or
know
three
that,
days
Mister? I
before
want
the
to ban
election?
3D printed guns.
This was what 2 or 3 days before the election, right? Or before
Yes.
election day. Yeah.
I just want to know how in the actual fuck do you know that, Mister? I want to ban 3D printed guns.
Yeah.
Mister, you can't distribute free speech. You can't distribute code online because free speech isn't a thing. Come on. Tell me how you know that. Like when people call cops pigs, this is what they mean. Because this guy is AG. He's top cop in the state.
Yeah.
He's an absolute pig. Fuck this guy.
Yep.
Absolutely, he is the worst law enforcement has to offer. Fuck this asshole.
Yep. Agreed.
On the bright side, we've had mentions that Montana looks like Biden sniffing Idaho.
Yep. Good shit.
That really makes it all better. I feel much better now. I can accept the results.
Yeah. And then now we're getting like reports and whistleblowers from like different USPS, places in Michigan and
Hey, that's something I
Pennsylvania.
didn't understand. Like, how is the postal union going to endorse Biden and then have their workers like handle ballots? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
But like we had 2 whistleblowers on different states, but like they both said the same thing. You know, they've
yep.
been told to backdate ballots. They can be counted. What? Remember when people said you can't extend the election for 3 days in Pennsylvania because it opens up to fraud?
Yep.
And a bunch of people went around backdating ballots so they could fraudulently.
This is why.
Fuck this, man.
Yeah, man. So basically, what I think is gonna do we miss any
One of them agreed
things?
to testify. One of them agreed to actually testify. So
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
this will go to litigation. This will go to the courts. It won't go over Biden because the absolute best for Biden is that a shitload of voter fraud occurred and he narrowly wins.
Yeah.
That's the best. The best case scenario is unbelievable amounts of voter fraud and he narrowly wins even with those ballots being.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Here's the honest thing. I think that if the Republicans were capable of being a real party, if they won the House, and I don't think they will, but if they managed to win the House, say in 2022, they should immediately impeach him. Be like, listen, we have voter fraud. We have clear cut voter fraud.
Yep.
For you. So that's one thing is you guys are organizing voter fraud. That's fucked.
Yeah.
Even if it doesn't account for the victory, still it's fucked.
Yeah. It is.
Secondly, the Russia stuff. Sorry, Ukraine stuff,
Yep.
the China stuff is just terrible,
It is.
like
It's
really
really bad.
nasty stuff.
But
And
hold on. To be fair, that's even assuming that that he's even still the president then, because
it is it
Nancy.
is that, but I don't really see like I mean I understand there's a joke about him being like ousted like that, but I think that they'll probably just one term him.
I don't think so, man.
Use him as a
I
meme
think
puppet for like a little bit and then just one term him.
I don't think so, man. I think what's gonna happen is I think Nancy's gonna impeach him because
I don't even know
um
if Nancy's going to maintain her position.
yeah, that's true. But well, she already said that they were gonna look at using the shit. I forgot which amendment
If
it
him
was.
reach presidency, I know what you mean.
Yeah. And she
Um,
said that it wasn't about Trump. So
yeah, well, I don't know if that was just a
that was
face
for
she was
Biden.
putting on it or like or if she. I mean, regardless, I think she obviously intends to have Biden out of there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't really care what she intends, and that may be a way harder political move than she thinks.
Maybe, but also maybe not.
I'd still impeach that point, though. I'd be like, okay, you guys elected a dude for the express purpose of removing him.
Yeah.
You could put an unelected individual into power. We're not a legit person. Fuck off.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Up out of here. So, I would do.
Yep. But did we really cover most of the voter fraud stuff? Oh,
Sharpie gate.
the Sharpie shit in Arizona, and then in Nevada, they found a whole bunch of instances of voter fraud that the GOP
Didn't someone find like
did.
30,000 like Trump ballots in a dumpster in like Michigan or something?
I don't know.
And there's just an endless flow of like ebb of these stories. Like it's just ridiculous. Like we're just getting like new ones every day.
Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's just
I
crazy.
mean, because I can't imagine what's the long game here. Right? Well, what's the actual goal of this voter fraud? Because it's so obvious that I don't believe these people think we're ignorant and not see it. I think this is probably just a move to further divide the country, divide and conquer, right?
Plausible.
Make it easier for them to seize power and ensuing chaos. Because I don't see this going very well for anyone.
Yeah, I think it just sort of depends on what happens in the courts. So what?
For example, right? Like Obama was legit. Like no one liked Obama, but he was absolutely elected legitimately. There's no doubt
Yeah,
there.
yeah, for sure.
We could put up with Obama.
Yep.
Um, no one's going to like Biden. He's going to actively violate the Constitution and ruin people's lives, and he's not legitimate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, this is a recipe for real bad shit.
Yeah, it really is. And here's what I think is going to happen though. There are two possibilities I can see happen. Well, actually three. So, uh, the first possibility is, despite them snuffing out the voter fraud, Biden still wins. I don't know if that's the most likely one, but that's definitely a possibility, right? After all the litigation and all stuff, Biden still wins. That's a possibility. Another possibility is that the litigations and stuff are proved to be successful, and all the voter fraud stuff is true, and it flips a lot of those swing states, right?
Georgia, North Carolina, Michigan, and Arizona get called for Trump. At which point, fucking, of course, Alaska will go for him too. But at that point,
Yeah,
I mean, Wisconsin. I don't know what they're going to do with Wisconsin. I haven't heard enough.
they have an automatic
Stories.
recount.
No, they're going to have a recount in Wisconsin, but I don't know what that will actually do.
Yeah,
In Michigan, though, it looks like they could pretty convincingly flip it.
maybe, and they can definitely do
Here's
that
the
for
other thing, though.
Pennsylvania,
In the
Arizona,
popular
and
vote,
Georgia as
Biden
well.
actually did win by like 5 million. So, I mean, the popular vote count technically wasn't wrong.
Yeah,
And I guess saying they're 7 points off isn't exactly accurate, which has been the criticism of a lot of the polling. But
yeah,
they're definitely wrong. On the state level, they were just disgustingly wrong when it came to the actual Senate races and House races.
yeah, they were.
I would say that on the presidential level, they were still wrong.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, for sure. And yeah, especially in the
But it's a
individual
two
states.
percent difference. It's not a like 7 point.
Well, at some points it was. Like, hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find some from the national polling. Oh, there's a whole bunch of states. But, damn it, where the hell is the national stuff? Because yeah, they tightened it on Tuesday beforehand for the national polling, but like before that they had them up by 10, by 8, like yeah. So
Yeah, it's all pretty fucking gay.
and the one that had him up 4 They don't even include that. That's one that
Yeah.
they don't even include. So, uh, yeah,
Let's get on to this. Wrap up this some of this stuff here. Basically, the polls are way off. We have some links about that if you'd like to
yeah,
check it out. Let's get down to some of the AOC. This is kind of a broad topic, but we've linked a specific story here. Basically, there's just this huge backlash against Trump voters. Like now, it's like okay, now that they think they've won, they decided to really go after Trump supporters.
yeah,
This is the thing where I hope people that voted for Biden realize immediately you did not vote for normalcy. You did not vote for a return to civility. You voted to approve their violence and their hatred. You voted to say this works. That's what you did. You just affirmed what they did works. So, of course, what did they go and do immediately? More of it. I got AOC saying, we need to create a list of Trump voters, Trump supporters. Like, what the fuck, man? For blacklisting purposes, I'm not saying it's for anything other. I mean, it's mostly economic and social blacklisting. But
yeah,
I don't like the idea of being like publicly on record as someone who supported Trump's. That way, people can go commit acts of violence against me.
yeah, exactly.
That's not exactly a great way to
And
handle
I can
shit.
be barred from having a job or being in polite society. Like, dude, it's freaking ridiculous. Did you see what Jennifer Rubin said? I don't know who she
You
is, but a woman on Twitter, a political
Oh,
activist
she's
on
like
the left.
I don't know. She works in one of the news stations. Fuck.
Oh,
Fuck,
oh,
I know
that's
she
even
won.
worse.
Damn it, I can't remember. I don't know. I don't
Uh,
follow her. I just,
you know what she says? You know what she said? She said, any are now promoting rejection of an election or calling to not follow the will of the voters or making baseless accusations of fraud should never serve in office, should join a or join a corporate board, find a faculty position, or be accepted in polite society. We have a list. What the hell?
oh, that's just the
That's
irony of that. It's like,
shit.
okay, so you guys get to go around claiming elections are absolutely bullshit on the basis of no evidence whatsoever, motherfucking ever. We provide clear cut evidence of voter fraud, and you think that somehow we're being crazy. I don't know what you even call that. Crazy, disruptors.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking crazy. There's more evidence of voter fraud than there ever was of Russian collusion. Ever than there ever was. It's crazy, man.
No. That's even better. It's more accurate to say that not only was there never any evidence of Russian collusion, there's negative evidence. I have evidence to the exact precise opposite.
Yeah.
Whereas in this case, I have pretty fucking positive evidence of a voter fraud. Like it's not hearsay,
No.
it's not conjecture.
Nope.
It's people on the record. It's photographs of ballots. It's things like 6,000 votes magically swinging towards Biden because of
Yeah.
some random ass glitch.
Yep.
It's you're not allowed to watch us count votes. I mean, it's just straight up illegality. You may say that there's no exceptional fraud occurring. In the case of vote counting, then maybe that's true. The problem is, maybe that's true. It's not how the system works. It's
Mm-hmm.
either 100% certain that it was legitimate or it's not legitimate. You
Exactly.
either
Yeah.
know it's legit or it's not legitimate. Period. Then you don't get to have a question about it. There's no question mark
No.
there.
There shouldn't be any question about it. That's the thing. There shouldn't be. It should. This stuff should not be going on. So yeah, I think that I think we're gonna get a lot of recounts and audits from the Trump litigation.
It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be really insane. And what I would like to see is like when everything's said and done, how many people involved in this were directly tied to Biden's campaign?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I
And
mean? Like,
but oh, I actually forgot about this. But so I think we sort of got off track, and then we
of
got back
course.
on track, but we kind of overcorrected and missed something. So
Quote Machiavelli: "Politics have no relation to morals."
yeah,
That's kind of how I feel about this at this point.
yeah, for sure. So here's what I think is going to happen. I already said that one possibility is that even with the voter fraud and stuff, the litigation, all that, Biden still wins. Okay, all right, fine, whatever.
I have more Machiavelli quotes as this unplays for the rest. My favorite one is a government which does not trust its citizens to be armed is not itself to be trusted.
Okay, there you go. And then the two other
Remember that
possibilities that I see.
Bloomberg meme? Like, if you need 30 rounds in a magazine to hit your home invader, you're a pretty lousy shot. Like, well, if you need to take away your citizens' guns to govern, you're pretty lousy at governance.
Yeah,
God damn it. That's what I'm terrified of the most, that Biden will actually make some concrete plays that way, because I don't want to be in a civil war.
No,
I'm not interested in
me
having
neither.
to kill fellow Americans, but I know for a fact that if he does shit like that, I will absolutely execute cops in the street for sure. And I'm not gonna. I don't mean as a war. I mean as war criminals. Like I will absolutely put people down, straight execution style. Come to take my guns. You come to kill my family members. Like you're not going to be treated with any sort of mercy.
No, no. If they try to come take
If
my
you
guns,
come, if you,
they're being met
yeah,
with
well,
air
specifically
fights.
if you're a government agent and you come to take away my guns, like you have to know that is the last fucking straw.
Yep.
That is the worst thing you could have done.
Yeah.
It is the
Because
most damn near immoral thing you could have managed
yeah.
without just. It's effectively an attempt at murder, because like you know that I'm not going to comply.
No, exactly. Yeah. And also we have a right to do that. It says in the Declaration of Independence that you know we have a right. It is our right. It is our duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. So if it becomes tyrannical, that's exactly what the Second Amendment is for. So yeah.
But yeah, specifically, I mean, the thing with the gun stuff about Biden is that I don't know if we discussed it in any detail, but he wants to ban the online sale of all gun
I think
stuff.
we mentioned it. Yeah.
That's not even the worst part. He also wants to add a crap load of things to the NFA item list.
Yeah.
Around magazines or NFA items, um, all sorts of every sort of like AR-15 becomes an NFA item. Meaning you have to go pay $200 to get registered. There's two issues there. One, I have to pay for things I already own.
Yep.
Second, NFA. Well, if you want to buy an NFA item, it means a background check. So like an NFA background check, which takes for fucking ever because they're slow as shit.
Yep.
In other words, enjoy waiting like 7 months to get your fucking magazine.
Yeah, dude. It's freaking
And the other
crazy.
thing that just absolutely fucking blows about it is the fact that it's a registry.
Hmm.
The money's a problem, the registry's a problem, the fucking wait times are going to be a problem. Like it's an obvious burden on my Second Amendment rights. I don't know how else to portray it, but also the online sale of guns, like no online sale of like ammunition, guns, accessories, like that's an incredibly vibrant market that he's going to kill.
Yep.
He has promised to strip jobs away from millions of people with
Yeah.
absolutely zero remorse for it. He's not
Exactly. Yeah.
apologetic. He's not upset about it. He's no, I am here to ruin the quality of your life because I am your government overlord. Deal with it.
Yep.
But he just doesn't make any excuse for it. It's just I'm here to fuck your life up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Here at the end, no goal. No goal. There's no goal in mind for that. It's just fucking your life up for fuck's sake, I guess. For shits and giggles.
I guess so.
If the online sale of ammunition had anything to do with safety of our citizens, I can guarantee you that I can basically guarantee you that it wouldn't be relevant to ban it since you can't.
Yeah.
Like, the black market for this stuff is still going to exist. Like, there's no way to get around it. The Wayfair thing. Oh, we're selling a cabinet for $14,000. It'll be exactly that. People will literally go, "I'm selling a cabinet for like $100." It'll just be a cabinet full of ammo. Yeah, you didn't sell the ammo online. It'll be workarounds so easy you won't even believe. So the only real reason to do this is to put an undue burden on people and to absolutely obliterate businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so basically back to what I was saying about what I think is going to happen. So the three possibilities, right? The Biden, even with the voter fraud, is found out, still win. Second one is litigation works, and it flips a couple states, Trump wins. And then the third one is because of all the litigation, it's still unclear who the actual winner is. That it goes past December 14th, and in the Constitution, if if it still isn't decided by December 14th, it goes to the House. And
Delegates.
what's up?
Delegates, man.
Yep, and a delegate from each state, which we actually have more delegates in more states than they do. Uh, they will vote for their electors for their states, and Trump wins. I think that's a very definite possibility, or not a definite possibility, but it's a good possibility of that happening at this point.
I have another Machiavelli quote specifically for Biden.
Okay, what's up?
I just I had two of them lined up, and I was like, I'm gonna look up some more.
Hmm.
I have it open here. I'm just looking. You know better than I that in a republic, talent is always suspect. A man attains an elevated position only when his mediocrity prevents him from being a threat to others. For this
Oh my
reason, a
God.
democracy is never governed by the most competent, but rather by those whose insignificance will not jeopardize anyone's self-esteem.
Oh my goodness, bro.
Biden described Biden absolutely pegged by Machiavelli back in the 15 fucking hundreds. Like, get
That's crazy.
riggedy, riggedy, wrecked fool. But that
Yep.
actually is, I do think it's accurate. I think people, that was the Ben Shapiro's point. That was the whole, like, oh, he's not threatening point.
Yeah.
The fact that he's such a mediocre, like, hack, corrupt piece of shit makes him so in line with everyone else. But talent is suspect. The fact that Donald Trump was so good at what he did was, I think, made a lot of people upset. Really, really upset.
Yeah.
The
Exactly.
quote, now to quote Roger Stone, there's an interview with him on, like, Roger Stone, that documentary they did on him.
Mm.
Asked him, okay, well, are you upset? Does it bother you that so many people hate you? He's like, no, I revel in your hatred. Wouldn't hate me if I wasn't effective.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true, man. He's hated specifically because that's why we said earlier with the Lincoln Project, like, the reason Trump gets shafted like this, the reason that there's such a pushback against him is because he is very effective at pushing for the American people's interest.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
There's some areas where I think he's not very effective on that, for sure. But overall, he is pushing for the interest of the American people. Honestly,
Yes, he is.
he's not being a corrupt politician, which is what they want him to be. They want him to play ball. He's not playing ball.
Yep.
Actually, holding his campaign promises.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Exactly. So, and then we already mentioned that Trump is bringing legal fights and stuff in several states, including Pennsylvania and Michigan. Oh man, ooh. And there's definitely going to be a recount in Georgia. There's definitely going to be one in Pennsylvania and probably and obviously Wisconsin as well, and maybe even Arizona and Nevada. So this election is not actually over yet, but we'll find out in the coming weeks what happens. Um, what do you think
oof.
is going to happen in the end, Andrew?
I think in litigation, this is going to be vindicated for Trump in a lot of ways. If nothing else, it's going to cast such unbelievable suspicion on Biden that he knows, has to know going in, that he doesn't have a mandate, he doesn't have the will of the people. He is thoroughly distrusted. He'll have
Yeah,
to know, which will severely limit him, I hope.
hopefully, yeah. And hey, dude,
I,
at
I just,
worst,
I'm just so upset that we literally. This is what really bothers me.
yeah,
If you want to see a Biden presidency, we've already had Obama, and we already know it fails. This is not a
right,
matter of 2016 where we had Hillary Clinton, who we knew was going to fuck it up, Donald Trump, who we didn't know. There was a legitimate unknown. You can make the case that the unknown had some benefit. Right?
yep,
This is a case where we have an honest to God, for sure, determined variable. Like, true as can possibly be. It's not hard to see what's going on here.
yeah,
And we have another variable who is similarly also well defined. People, they made very clear choices. We're going to go against peace in the Middle East. We're going to go against lower taxes. We're going to go against the attempts to end foreign wars.
yeah,
We're going to go against cracking down on pedophilia. I mean that like almost explicitly, like because you're like, oh, that
yeah,
guy was arrested for pedophiles, and this guy likes to sniff children. Who am I going to put in office? That one just felt like a kick in the teeth. Like, oh my
yeah,
god, really, people? Like, some of us have children that we don't want getting raped.
yeah,
And that's the other thing, suburban housewives. Shame on you,
yeah,
women, shame on you. You claim to be compassionate and value children. No, you fucking don't. No, you don't. You're
no,
a heartless fucking horse. Sorry. But this guy is literally the best bulwark you have against child trafficking, and you traded him for the pedophile.
yep,
You don't give a fuck about your families, not one. And you can sit there and pretend that you do. You can sit there and pretend like, oh well, I just didn't know. You had every reason to know. The evidence was out there.
yeah,
Do a little bit of research if you claim to give a fuck about your families. And that's why we lost suburban women, because they're more concerned about their families and their children's futures. You had every reason to know. There's no excuse for the ignorance.
none whatsoever.
I have another quote for you from
All right,
Machiavelli.
cool, go ahead.
Describe people that vote for Biden. Men are of three different capacities: one that understands intuitively, another understands so far as it is explained, a third understands neither of himself nor by explanation. The first is excellent, the second is commendable, and the third altogether useless.
That's great.
So Biden voters are those that
That's awesome.
understand that don't understand intuitively, and they don't understand when it's explained to them. They don't understand.
Yeah.
You cannot. That's the thing with Michael Malice. You ask Michael Malice for criticisms on democracy, right?
Mm.
Criticisms on government by the people for the people. This election's really kind of solidified some of my criticisms about that. Is that one? This is a really important one. People that require leaders are not qualified to elect them.
Yeah.
That's really hard to get around. The fact that there's a lot of stupid people out there making really bad choices for who they want to lead. That is really hard to get around.
Yeah.
Criticism for democracy goes, it's a pretty accurate criticism.
Mm-hmm.
But secondly, this idea that people are low information voters. We keep saying low information, low information. People say that in all these conservative circles, low information voters. They're not low information. They may literally not have the info. Do you think that if you went to them and told them that they'd believe you,
Yeah.
that they'd listen to reason, that they'd see fact, that they'd take evidence into account? But these people are brainwashed dipshits. They have no interest in the information, even if it was presented to them.
Yeah.
Half of people are stupid beyond reproach. They're not gonna listen ever. You will not get them to critically think. You can't make them do it.
Yeah.
Now I understand that the general capitalists and the general sort of like pro libertarian sort of government view of the world would not agree with that. Would be like, no, people are generally speaking on an individual level smart, and you can make them understand if you give them evidence that's rock solid and you explain things properly. You can make most people understand things.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I have a stepfather who's very personally all personal animus. No matter how many times I explain, because this is a guy who was smoked pot in the '60s and did acid and fucking went to a bunch of the Vietnam protests. This is a very anti-war individual. When you explain to him that Biden had like multiple illegal wars, killed, bombed a lot of children, and say, and Trump doesn't do that. Trump is we're very much the only president in my lifetime, and for most people's lifetime,
Yeah.
in the United States that does not actively promote war. He is very, very much a peace-loving president. He's not getting our sons and daughters killed. He's not killing other people. Not in the numbers that other people did. Not in the drone stuff. It's pretty disturbing, but I think that it's a continuation of a trend that was already in place. I don't know what percentage of that is actually his fault directly. You know what I mean? I can tell you the fact that we're not involved in a current war. I can tell you that the Middle East peace deals, and I can tell you that the fact that we've pulled troops out of the Middle East is directly him. He does all of that against advice.
Yep. Against his inside
Pulled
circle.
troops out of the Middle East against advice.
Yep.
He brokered these peace deals going against the conventional wisdom. That is definitely a him move. No one else is taking credit for that. And
Yeah.
you say stuff like that to someone like my stepfather, who's extremely liberal hippie, doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Who cares? He's an asshole. Who cares? He's an asshole. Children die because of the people you put in office. Like that. Fuck you.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, and the thing is, generally speaking, it's someone I would consider to be a good person. But when it comes to politics, they simply can't use the moral or rational mind.
Yeah.
They're just not capable. And that's my point. Is that with the Biden voter, I mean, what percentage of these people are simply unsalvageable when it comes to politically speaking?
Right. Yeah.
I'm worried that this is not how close it was is not a sign of record Trump hatred, but record Democrat approval. These people actually believe what they're being told.
Yeah.
The media strategy of lie, 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 deny, 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 brainwash, 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 maybe is working.
Yeah.
Some people just defer to authority and everything. They go, well, that person's an authoritative source, ergo, I'm going to trust everything they say.
Yep.
And if you think that's not what some people do, remember, there are still people defending Fauci.
Yep.
Why? He's the leading infectious disease expert for years. No, he's the top guy in the government.
Yeah.
That doesn't exactly make you an expert in your field, unfortunately.
Yeah. And a guy who hasn't seen a patient in what, 20 years?
Yeah. So this is another example with the automotive stuff, right?
Yeah.
So when you program code for cars in the automotive field, there are actually guidelines you have to follow. There are regulations. And listening to a podcast with Lex Friedman, he had one of the AI guys on, George Holtz. who's working with AI, and he said he was actually pleasantly surprised when he was handed all these guidelines, and you could tell they were written by someone that actually was a computer scientist. And he said, usually when I come up against government regulations, it's written by people who don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but still want to regulate it. And so that's the thing is like when you find examples of the government actually putting out practical information with well-informed opinions, that is the exception, not the rule. That was kind of the point I was trying to make there. Also, that AI cars are really cool. You should go look at them. Driving cars are cool shit. But the exception to government incompetence is exactly that. It's an exception. It's not the rule. The rule is government incompetence. And you'll see Fauci flip flop on every major issue, get everything wrong. And people go, but he's the authority figure. I have to, suck dick for it.
Yep.
Right? Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think there's some adequate defense of Fauci. I don't think there is at this point. I think there may have been for the first 2 or 3 months, but then he just lost all credibility as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Just what do you think? At what point did you think Fauci lost all credibility? To you, what was the tipping point?
When I saw him being a hypocrite and taking his mask off at a baseball game while he was talking to people, and then
That was bad.
having a mask on when he's on the pitcher's mound, 200
Yeah.
feet from anybody else. That's when he lost credibility for me. That showed me that he doesn't actually believe what he's saying.
Of course not. Of course not.
So yeah, for me that's when that happened for me.
It wasn't that for me. It was the fact that he was so
Okay, Biden.
Word for it. Sorry, I'm trying to figure it out.
Mr. Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, all right. I don't care. Bad, I care. But he was so regularly appearing in cable news, and they kept trusting his opinions, and I'm like, okay, that's suspicious as fuck. That is not. These are the people who I know for a fact lie about little. They'll lie about things they have no reason to lie about.
Yep.
They'll do it for shits and giggles. So if he's on there regularly, if he's on cable news regularly, that is suspicious as hell. That's why would they? If he was going to say true things, we know that truth is not what benefits their narrative. Why is he on there?
Right. Yeah.
So that was for me. It was like, okay, a couple months in, you see him keep appearing on these cable news networks and saying things that are not really supported by the science, or that are like kind of like, of course, children can get it. Children are at risk. It's like, no, not of course.
Right.
That is obvious. That's actually not supported by the data at all. Like, statistically speaking, yes, they can acquire it. Yes, they can die. You say, of course, children are at risk. No, they're not. A very minute set of children, literally less than 0.001%, for any risk of this. His having him do that sort of stuff, I thought was kind of just sleazy and gross. Like, you're playing into the fear mongering. You know what I mean? Like, he was fear mongering. You could tell. And I think for me, the thing that kind of was the final. It's kind of similar to your deal. The final blow was hearing him go, "You have to wear a mask," and knowing for a fact he said it was dangerous to do so earlier.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What about the disease changed in that 6 months? And he admitted he lied, so I know nothing changed. I know he was just a liar, right?
Yeah.
What exactly did you think was what was the reason you thought you can get away with saying something like that? Like, what about the disease had changed? What information had been presented where all of a sudden it was 5 months, it was 6 months ago, oh, it's a respiratory disease, spreads to your lungs and stuff, but don't cover your mouth and nose.
Yeah.
Now it's a respiratory disease, coughing and the droplets. Ike Wazowski.
Yep.
I had to do it to him. But all of a sudden that matters,
Yeah.
Okay, but that would have been true 6 months ago, and you're not presenting new information here. So yeah, just a bunch of bullshit with him, man. That's my point, though, is that because we kind of got off on a tangent. My whole point was that people keep deferring to him for information. It's like he's obviously a bad source. Right? And you can see it with your own 2 eyes. He's on cable news contradicting himself constantly.
Yep.
If you had eyes and if you were capable of listening to what he was actually saying, you'd know he's a liar. That'd be the same thing with cable news. but you're not really listening in the sense that maybe you or I are. You're not archiving information to check later. Whatever they say, whatever the party says at the moment, that's the line. Hey, 2 + 2 is 5. All right, cool. There's no critical thinking occurring ever with any of these people.
Also, there's some new data out. Let's check this out.
Lay it on me.
So in Michigan, Biden got 60,000 votes with no down ballot vote. In Georgia, Joe Biden got 95,801 votes with no down ballot vote.
85,000?
95,000
95. 90. Fuck.
in Georgia.
What was the previous state you said? How many did you get?
Michigan, 60,000 with no down ballot.
Oh, fuck you. You lying cunts. This is what I don't understand. If you know that a vote for Biden is a vote for the establishment, you know you're actually voting for. Because if people are voting for Biden, they have to know they're not voting for Biden. But why wouldn't you elect the senators in the House too? Like, if you feel so emphatically that Trump is evil, why not stop him on all fronts?
Right, yeah.
Uh, I guess to quote Machiavelli again, that's going to be my thing for this.
There you go.
One who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. So that's what we're dealing with here, in my opinion. I've got another one that's great just for Biden.
Okay, there you go.
There's nothing more important than appearing to be religious.
Oh, hey.
Oh God,
Damn, what is it with Machiavelli and freaking predicting Biden?
he was a really that was the thing of Machiavelli that no one likes to talk about. They always like to view him in an evil light because he wrote this essay called The Prince, which explains how to be a tyrannical ruler.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, you actually wanted to empower tyrannies. Why would you publish that information to all the citizens so they could read what the fucking tyrannies are up to? I think that was his way of being subversive. You know what I mean? Personal opinion there, but he's a very accurate realist when it comes to politics. He makes a very good. You could say it's either a criticism or it's a good explanation. It reads like a criticism because how damning it is, but it's a very accurate explanation of how power actually works.
Yeah. Yeah, man. All right. Do we have anything else like last minute? I guess what we think is gonna actually gonna happen. What do you think the most realistic outcome is from this?
I think the litigation goes pretty far and Trump wins it in the courts because I think
I
there's
think so.
there's sufficient evidence of voter fraud here. There's sufficient evidence of impropriety that I think we're going to have a lot of ballots thrown out.
Yep.
Ballot.
I think so too.
Yep.
I think so. And then they're gonna cry for 4 years saying that he cheated, and I'm not gonna give a shit. I'm not gonna give a shit because
Yep.
you know whenever you whenever you commit voter fraud of this scale, right? And basically almost cheat us out of winning, and then uh, you know because if this doesn't go unchecked, we'll never have another Republican controlled branch ever again. If this goes
Yes.
unchecked,
My advice to the Republican Party right now would be another quote from Machiavelli: "Make mistakes of ambition. Do not make mistakes of sloth. Develop the strength to do bold things, not to suffer."
exactly.
If you're gonna fuck things up, at least go down fighting.
Yep,
Do not make the mistake of being lazy right here.
exactly.
Not the time to be idle.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I honestly think the
And
same.
also, I have another one from Machiavelli.
Yeah,
Before all else, be armed.
there we go. Good shit. Um, but yeah, I agree with you. I think it's gonna end in the courts, and I think Trump's gonna win that battle in the courts. And then the left is gonna go crazy. They're gonna riot, loot, and then Trump's gonna squash that shit real quick because he's not gonna be under any more political pressure at that point. He's not running for re-election. He will squash that shit so quick. Um, I think that that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, and then if we get another 4 years of winning, and then real quick, I also did want to mention that there were a lot of GOP senators and Congress folks uh, who were silent about this stuff.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Yeah, that they need to be primaried. They need to be out. They need to be ousted from the party and primaried, lose out to different people. So yeah, I think that we should primary a lot of these people. And if I have a decent job, I will back their opponents in the
Oh yeah.
primaries. I will max out to their opponents. So yeah, yeah, we need to throw some people out of the party as far as politicians wise, because if you're not gonna have a spine, there's no room for you here as far as our representatives.
Yeah.
So yeah, in all likelihood, I think that Trump wins in the courts. We'll get another 4 years. Who do you think will run in 2024?
That's a great question. Now I'm less convinced. I think the best candidates would have to be like some people in the Trump family. I think Don Jr.
Yeah,
Ted Cruz can make a convincing run because he stood up.
yeah, he did.
He actually did stand up on the issues. So,
Yeah, I think Nikki Haley is definitely going to run. Because did you see her
but
tweet?
even if she does, yeah, but even if she does, she had to be poked and prodded to make any
Yep.
statements regarding
Yeah,
the
she
election fraud.
did.
So I'm not so convinced that she's going to be that will be brought against her.
Yeah, yeah. I have a feeling that she's definitely going to run, but she's not going to do too well, especially since she had to be poked and prodded to say something.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, and I think because I know that Ben really likes her, um, but
I mean, she's a nice person. I have no
yeah,
issue with her personally, but that was just not a good call on her part. She
yeah,
needed to be spoken.
yep, yeah.
I'll leave you one more quote for the destruction of the state.
Oh boy.
Machiavelli, the state is not an organism capable of bringing either moral or material improvements to the populace, but merely a vehicle of power for the men and party in power.
Good quote.
I have another quote, also for Republicans. It's better to be adventurous than cautious because fortune is a woman.
Yeah, there you go.
Fate, am I right?
Yeah. All right.
That's like the best part from Hamlet. Like I don't know if any of you read Shakespeare. I'll stop quoting Machiavelli. I'll go back to Shakespeare now. I don't know if any of you read like the Hamlet part of Hamlet where they he meets some of his old friends from college. They're visiting him, and he asks them, how's does fate treat you? And he's like, oh, not too well, but not too bad, somewhere in the middle. And then Hamlet's like, somewhere in her most private regions, and they say, yes, somewhere there.
Yeah.
Haha, they're saying they're in fate's vagina. It's great. I
Yeah.
love Shakespeare. Read more Shakespeare. It's good.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right. Any last comments or anything?
Not really. I mean, the issue here is so much of this is uncertain.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in. Please, once again, we ask for y'all's input in the comments. Uh, and yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe. Let us know what y'all thought of this week's episode or what y'all think of what's going on uh, with
Yeah,
with the
comment below
election.
if you have any examples we miss of the fraud or
Yeah.
anything you think is countervailing evidence to say that we're wrong about the fraud.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, and we uh, yeah, I think we're gonna cut it here. So everyone have a good week, and we will talk to y'all next week.